What's up, grappler fans? Just wanted to take this time to make a little video about my experience with stretching lift kits or stacking lifts and levels, or just stacking leveling kits. And while I'm out here, it's a beautiful day down here in Alabama, which I don't usually get to say because I really like the North Carolina weather where I'm from. But it's actually beautiful out here, sunny, and probably not even 70. It's super mild, probably jeans and t-shirt weather. But really happy with my experience so far with my stretched lift kits and leveling kits that I've done, and just kind of want to say my experience. Also, I want to take this time, if you haven't seen my video, my first impressions of the new 40-inch trail grappler for a 26 just came out. You're probably not going to see anybody running them yet. There may be a few here and there. I know they had some at SEMA last year, but they weren't actually out on the streets. They were just like for show. They weren't allowed to drive on them, and now you can actually buy them. I got a set and waiting on some wheels. Still trying to actually figure out what wheels, so if you guys want to help me there, 26 by 16 or 26 by 14, trying to decide there. And then maybe a concave wheel from American Force, or still looking at other brands, trying to make sure with such a big purchase and a big wheel that I get what I want. So I've got these 24 by 14, some of y'all have seen. Great looking wheel. I need to clean those up some, but it smells like a tire factory in here. I got a full set of 4 of these and a spare. I got a spare for my Bubba setup with the 40s and 20 mud grapplers. Then we got these 26s here. It's just a crazy big tire, super wide. Like I said, check out my first impressions video of just seeing what the actual tire itself looks like compared to my 40s for a 24. They're actually surprisingly different. So just want to go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull the truck out here and show you what I have as far as a stretch lift right now, and then kind of talk about what I've done in the past, and then just see what else you can do, what you guys might have, and answer any questions that you can have. So let's get the truck out of the carport so we can take a look at it. So this is my 8-inch BDS coilover 4-link kit that I have cranked up to 10 inches. The way I've done that, like I said, it's coilovers, so I was able to just crank them up and get the ride height I wanted. When I got this lift put on, it was nose diving still a little bit, like it had the stock rake to it, so it was lower in the front by like 1.5 inches or so. And I've driven squatted trucks and stock trucks, and I've got that old nose diving F100 over there that's like 4 inches higher in the back rat rod look, but I wanted this thing to be dead level, so I adjusted it up to make it 10 inches in the front, 8-inch lift in the back, and I'm super happy with how it came out and how it rides and everything. If you want to see more about the exact lift kit, I've got a whole BDS lift kit review, but this is mainly about adjusting up a lift or adding a leveling kit or stacking a kit, because I've done that on other trucks and just want to give a little more information on that and some recommendations for other type of trucks besides my own. So you can see here like where the coilover is. Typically it sits about there, and I just cranked it down. You can see I can go even farther, but then you'd be getting into bad ride quality. So it's sitting at 10 inches, and see how level it is. Very happy with it. Now this kit, they don't tell you can do this, but it is something with a coilover kit. A lot of kits will say it's like a 4 to 6 inch or 6 to 8. BDS doesn't market this as adjustable, but like most things, you can kind of push the limits a little bit, and I want to talk about what those limits are and what you should, how much you can push different kits before you run into issues with wearing your parts out and then just riding like trash. So let's go for a little ride. I'm gonna go fill this thing up. It's getting pretty warmed up by now, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so for this kit specifically, being an 8-inch BDS, I want to talk about like how much you could actually max that out. So again, it's not recommended, and they do use some of the drop brackets and stuff from the 6-inch kit, so you're really going to be maxing out your steering. But I've got the adjustable track bar on here, so I have a little bit of leeway with that. I'm only comfortable with going up to about 10 inches on this thing. I've heard of people going up to 11.5 on a BDS, and that's even like the coil kit, the coil spring, as opposed to the coilovers. So that would be like where you're adding a leveling kit on top of the spring. So you'd have like a 2-inch coil spacer or 2.5, which would put you at like 10.5 inches, or you could do like a 3-inch for 11 inches. But really at that point you've got it totally maxed out. And there is a point where even with this 4-link kit and such a big straight axle truck, you're starting to just bring the axle more under you. It's going farther down, but it's going farther back, so you're going to run into clearance issues on the back side of the fender. Even though you're getting a little bit more height, you may still not be able to run the tires that you want. But I think 10 inches on this 8-inch kit is pretty fair. I'm not worried about it, and I've had it like this for 2 years. It's been riding great, honestly. Like I said, I've got more about the actual ride quality and everything in my BDS review. But to 10 inches, that's a 2-inch difference from what the kit's intended. Basically what it comes down to when you're stacking a lift or stretching a lift is how much is the lift kit already accounting for like dropping your steering, or if you're on like an independent front suspension truck, your CV angles and everything. So you really have to consider that. So if you've got like a rough country 7.5-inch lift on your like Silverado 1500, I think that's like a 5-inch diff drop. Now that's all right, because that's how that truck's intended. It's supposed to be a little bit of a higher angle CV lift, so it's already kind of pushing the limits a little bit of the CVs to the extent of like a leveling kit. So it's not a big deal. But if you add a leveling kit to something that's already stretched, you're going to wear out your CVs or potentially your ball joints and everything, depending on what you got. I've heard Ford IFS trucks, like a F-150, excuse me, you're going to run into like your ball joints bonding up and everything, your upper control arms. So you really have to account for that. If you're just putting a leveling kit on there, it's all right, because you have a little bit of wiggle room there. It's not a big deal to stretch it out. But then if you're adding another leveling kit, say you have one on top of your strut and on the bottom, like I've seen a lot of people do with Chevys and GMs, you can get like the little 1.5-inch one that goes on the bottom of the strut, and then you can also get a spacer on top. You're now adding two things that would be okay by themselves without accounting for your steering and your CV angles really at all. Yeah, you can still probably align it, but you're going to wear it out. Now, have I seen a bunch of people do that and have no like long-term issues really? Yeah, I have. I've had plenty of buddies, growing up with that ran stack leveling kits, even on like a Denali where you have all-time four-wheel drive. Now that totally would stress me out, but it can be done. But the thing is, like, you really don't want to just push it much past, I'd say, 3 inches without accommodating for the steering or your factory geometry. So I'd say this 8-inch kit on a straight axle truck, max, you could probably run 11 inches without having some kind of additional drop bracket somewhere, or something custom just accounting for that extra lift. And I'd say a leveling kit, like the most you're going to want to do is 3 inches. So some kits are already a 3-inch leveling kit. I wouldn't recommend stacking something with that, but you could. It just depends. Kind of, if you have questions on certain like year, make, and model, this leveling kit and this lift kit,
go ahead and ask me. I'll do the research and ask around. I've got Grappaholic's Instagram at my disposal. I can post a picture and ask, hey, who's running this kit and these size tires on this truck? And I can get you guys answers fast. So just let me know what you guys need there. But from what I've seen, if you got a lift kit, just do the research either before you buy it or once you get it as to how much it's accounting for either dropping your differential on IFS or your steering on this. So I've talked to BDS, the guys there with that when I got the kit, like how much can I stretch it, because obviously they're not going to recommend that, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to stretch it, I'm going to make it leveled, and I'm not going to lower the back to level it. I want, you know, as much lift as I can get out of it and it still ride good and not fall apart on me. So you know, from what I've heard, you can go up to about 10 inches on this. Now, they recommended with these coilovers to just crank them up. I've also heard, you know, if y'all remember, I had this truck leveled on 37s. I just had the little rough country 1.5 to 2 inch little spacer that goes underneath the coil bucket. So that's like on the axle side down at the bottom. And that rode pretty much stock, honestly. So that, you know, wouldn't really affect this lift kit much. Same deal, 1.5 inches, it's not a big deal. So I could have run that underneath the coil bucket for a coil spring lift, or in this case, you could do it with a coilover. It would just, you know, you'd have to use the leveling kit, new longer bolt to go through the new coilover mount. So I've heard people doing that, so then your coilover isn't stretched at all, which may help with the ride. I haven't actually ridden in this same truck with that, but you know, I kind of liked having a little bit less leverage and pivot points in the suspension by having just the coilover stretched out instead of adding in that spacer. I'm not a big fan of the spacers if I can help it. You know, I've got no lift blocks in the back. It's a full replacement 8-inch leaf. So just be smart with this. Like, if you're gonna spend money on modifying your truck, you know, save it and do it the right way. And, you know, if you want it to be more than just a leveling kit, then pay for the actual lift kit that comes with the drop brackets for your steering and everything else. So, I'll go ahead and turn here. If you want to, say you already have a leveling kit, you want to add a lift kit, you may be able to keep your leveling kit. Like, I was able to keep that 1.5 inch kit even with these coilovers if I wanted to, because of the one I got. So look into that if you want to get a leveling kit to start out with, like I did, and you may eventually want to lift it. See if you can get something that's compatible with the lift that you want to get in the first place, so that you can stack it if you want. So if you're going to get coils, you know, get a coil spacer. If you're going to get, you know, if you got new struts, maybe a strut spacer. There's some kits, a lift kit even, that comes with a strut spacer on the top. So you may, if you want to do a, you know, like a McGoy's lift, or most of them I can think of for like a Chevy 1500, it's going to have a big spacer on the top of the strut. So if you want a little more lift out of that, you're pretty much going to have to get lift struts, a bigger strut. So it all kind of comes down to just doing the research, and that's what I'm trying to say, is I'm here to help you guys. If you have a question, I'll look into it, and I'm not like selling stuff as a company, so I can be honest with you, like what size tire you can actually fit, you know, even if it's going to rub a little bit, and also what you can do to kind of push the limits without having issues. So, you know, with my old truck, it was a 2-wheel drive. I had a 3.5 inch spindle lift that just dropped down where the wheels mounted up, and that didn't affect anything with my geometry. It was literally just a new place for the wheel to mount lower, so it made the truck sit higher. So it still rode totally stock. So I added a leveling kit to that, a 2-inch leveling kit, so I had 5.5 inches of lift. Now it rode pretty bad like that. With the leveling kit was enough to max the thing out. I used completely new coil springs, but that's just things you can do. Now if you've already got like a full drive and you've got keys on it, and you want to get like, you know, you've got the stock keys max, and then you want to get like different lift keys for it, you're not going to get much more out of it unless you're getting like a differential drop or something like that. You can maybe get more height, but you're not going to get the ride, and your alignment's going to be all jacked up. When I first put my leveling kit on that F-150, I look like a UFO just came from Area 51. My front tires were totally like cambered out, like a little ricer you see nowadays, and I actually drove it like that to work that day, and then picked up a camber adjustment kit that spaced out the top upper control arms. So you just have to look into this stuff and make sure you're not getting something that's just going to throw everything out of whack. Like, nobody wanted to align that truck because of the kit I had on there. So trial and error, I've kind of learned, you know, you can't push it but so far. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any more questions, just let me know. I really want to help everybody out, and just from, you know, I grew up around lifting trucks in our driveways and messing with them, and you know, trying to get further and further with this truck, and you know, things to come. So keep tabs on what I've got going on if you want to subscribe. And also, if you're not already on my Instagram, Grappleholics, I got plenty of trucks. I post pretty much anything that catches my eye in my DMs. So if you guys want to send something that's on Grapplers, send it over. And if you have any questions, I respond a little bit quicker to a question than just a, hey, post me. So send what you guys want, and I'll do the best to help you out. Thanks for watching.